Buying farmland is a major decision. It's important to consider a number of things before signing the purchase contract in an effort to avoid unanticipated problems. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law joins us now to review some key considerations when buying farmland. Thanks so much for joining us, Roger. Let's start with due diligence when it comes to environmental issues. What all do we need to keep in mind?
Well, one of the big ones, Tammy, is the Endangered Species Act. And depending on where you're at in the country, that can play a major role in what you can do on your farm or ranch. If you get a habitat designation for your property, that can really limit land use. And so the states such as Texas and California and Florida and Tennessee, they have the highest level of endangered and listed plants and wildlife in the country. So one of the things you want to know is whether you are in a habitat designated area for the land you're buying, or possibly could be, because that can have implications for your land use.
So how do local development plans play a role in this process?
Well, it's always good to check records. Check whatever public records are available to determine whether plans are in the works for maybe expanding a road that might take some of your farm field frontage away from you, or whether there are development plans to put in a wind farm nearby or a solar farm that could have an impact on the value of your property. Check public records, so county commissioner meeting records that have been made public, filings down at the courthouse that might affect your land as well as neighboring property. See what easements are out there.
Are there any other important issues farmers need to keep in mind before signing that purchase agreement?
Well, you always want to make sure that you're not dealing with some undisclosed tenant. And if the land is leased, make sure you understand that just simply buying the land will not, under state law, terminate that lease. You're going to have to be the one that follows state law to terminate that lease. Just buying it's not going to terminate that, no matter what an auctioneer or what the real estate broker might say. And that's a big issue that's out there. So check records again, check whatever records the seller will give you, check FSA records, who's getting the government payments for the property, those types of things. You want to know whether you're dealing with a tenant, whether you've got a subsurface tenant with respect to minerals. So you need to think about those things too.
And last question, very quickly, what type of issues can arise if these issues aren't taken into consideration?
Oh, it's innumerable. I've seen so many cases over the years and so many problems crop up. We don't have enough time for me to talk about those. One just recently, in just a few seconds here, I had one recently where there was an undisclosed tenant that cropped up. The tenant happened to be sharing government payments with his mother, who was in her 90s and in a nursing home, and was never disclosed. The landlord didn't even know that. Boy, it's just amazing, these things that can come up. So ask questions, talk to neighbors, read public documents, get a disclosure document to the extent you can get a thorough one from the seller. Just due diligence. We're back to that.
Absolutely. Got to do your homework there. That's Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law. Thank you so much for your time today.